inscribing equilateral triangles in a circle. So if you mastered inscribing the regular hexagon, this one's going to be super easy for you. You're going to follow the same steps to construct the inscribed equilateral triangle as you used to construct the regular hexagon. But instead of connecting each intersection, you're just going to connect every other intersection. Connecting each successive intersection produces a six-sided figure. If you connect every other, you have an equilateral triangle. And I need the compass that's hiding there. I already have my circle. All right. I made sure when I made the circle, I left the compass. I put a point there, actually, I think on this one, at the center, and just made it from there. So I know that's the center. You just make a dark enough mark in your when you make the circle, and you'll know where your center is. So I need to put the first point someplace, and we'll put it there. Right, so we're going to take the compass and we're going to measure the radius here. And that looks to be my radius. All right, so I'm going to take the compass. Now I have trouble turning it along the bottom here. I never seem to have enough room for my poor compass. And unfortunately, I'm stuck with it being this size. All right, let's see. All right, I got it on the... All I got to do now is make the arc. There we go. All right, so I put the compass on the point I drew, made an arc. Going to move my compass. Notice I don't change the spread at all. I'm going to move it to the arc I just made. Oops, I think I can still reach the compass. Right, I've moved it so that the point of the compass is on that arc, and now I draw another arc. And then I move my compass. Okay, and we make an arc. And we're going to move it again to the arc I just made. And we make another arc. And one last time, move the compass to the arc I just made. And I'm going to try to swing it around. That's good enough. And we'll make an arc. Right, so let me move, well, I closed the compass, but it doesn't matter because that was the last arc. So good enough. Move him out of the way. All right, and now I'm going to use a line tool. And instead of connecting every point, I'm going to connect every other. And I guess I should have drawn... Here, make that nice. Make a point there so you can see it. So I'm going to connect that one. I'm going to skip the next arc. I'm going to connect that one. All right, so I need a line going from not the next one, but the next one, and then finally these ones. All right, so you notice I skipped every other arc, but I needed to draw that in so that I knew where I need to mark off every 60 degree, 60 degrees, 360 around the circle, every 60 degrees, so I would know exactly where to put the vertices of my triangle. All right, so you connect every vertice, you see we have the hexagon. Connect every other one, we have the equilateral triangle, the inscribed equilateral triangle. So the angles of the equilateral triangle, all right, so do the construction along with me. You have a place in your notes. All right, so you can pause, watch me again. All right, do it with me, or just look what I've done. And on your triangle, I like you to mark that these are all 60 degrees, right? Because that's the measure of all the angles. They have to add up to 180, and these are all congruent to one another. So the angle in the hexagon is 120. The angle in the triangle will be half that, or 60 degrees. And there we go. There's one method for the inscribed equilateral triangle. I'm going to show you another method. I like this method. I think this one is easier. All right, but I'm going to show you another method. All right, so here I have an example of it. I'll do it with you. All right, so I have a hexagon. I have a circle. Got hexagon on the mind. I have a circle, and I already have the center marked, because otherwise I'm kind of in trouble, and because I'll never find it. And I'm just going to draw a diameter. right? And so the diameter goes from one edge to the other through the center of my, no, I just want to move it over. If I stay there too long, it thinks I want to do something. I just want to move it over. All right, so I know that it has to be a diameter because it goes through the center, because I know where my center is, and between 2 points that are on the circle. Right? So now, where I marked that point, that nice little green point, I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to make sure that I've not changed my compass with it all, and that this is indeed the radius of the circle. It does appear to be the radius of the circle. All right, so I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to draw the, so I'm going to have the point right where it is on that point I just drew, and I want, so this is my center. So this over here, let's mark it A, right? That was the center of the circle that I had drawn up there. B is going to be the center of a new circle that I'm going to draw. All right, so here's this new circle, and it's going to go through point A. So notice my new circle has intersected my old circle in two places. It intersected it here and here. Okay? And now all I have to do is connect, and I'm going to use a different color because there's a lot of black lines on here. I just need to be able to get the colors. See, I have a recording box that blocks my vision, and it's blocking my colors. I can get rid of that. All right, colors go away. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to connect from this point where the circle, the second circle intersected the first circle. Actually, I'll call it C. So we'll call that C and we'll call that D. Hopefully I haven't changed the color of my line at all by doing that. I'm going to draw one more line. Actually, I'm going to draw two more lines, but I'm going to draw another. I'm not going to move that line. Well, fine, we'll draw it from D. All right, so now I'm going to draw a line from D. No, I'm just going to move the point. What the heck? Where did my line? Oh, maybe my line tool's gone. Boop. That's why. All right, so I'm going to draw a line from D, right, to that point. So that point there is a point on the diameter. Let's call that E. All right, so BE as a segment is a diameter of circle A, right? And so now we drew a circle at point B through circle A, and it intersected our original circle at C and D. So we just drew lines from E from E, the diameter, to C, the point on the circle. Right? They were intersected the point on the second circle that intersected the first circle, and then D, the same thing. And we're going to draw one more line from C to D. And this construction guarantees we have an equilateral triangle if the last point will go in the spot it belongs to. I think this one is off. So it's an equilateral triangle as long as I can draw a straight line. There we go. There is our equilateral triangle. All right? And it's because we have an equilateral triangle here because we used congruent radii and diameter to draw this construction. So AB is a diameter for circle A and circle B. Oops. And our whole construction is centered around that particular line there. And that line not only is a radius, it's part of EB, or BE, which is the diameter of circle A. And by the way, these are two congruent circles. right? So the diameter, if I were to continue that line EB until it intersected the circle on the other side, right, I'd have two diameters when they would overlap right at AB. Right? So because of the way we set up the construction using two congruent circles and the diameter, we end up with an equilateral triangle. And that's all there is to it. So as long as you know exactly where the center of your circle is, right, and you draw your diameter first before you draw the second circle, this one is really not a very difficult construction either. In the picture here, they just didn't finish the circle. They'd only do part of the circle. I kind of like to draw the whole circle, but it doesn't really matter whether you draw part of the circle or the whole circle. All right, well, thanks for watching constructing an equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle. Bye for now.